pro Rogan. I'm Progan, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Like I listen to him all this stuff. It's easy. Like seems like a good dude. Takes care of his health, super successful in every venture, or not every venture, he's probably had failures, but like, multiple different areas, like even being B level in multiple different areas is huge. He's the number one podcaster. He's one of the top selling comedians, and you can make a case for that. He's created the fucking hub for comedy now. Like when it comes to the UFC, like he's an OG commentator. He's a staple there in a sport that's evolved since he's been a part of it. Like you look at a guy like that, it's easy, I want to be like fucking Joe Rogan. We're fucking doing a podcast right now. But that's obviously not, I'm not trying to be like Joe Rogan, but I remember when the Political Hit Job, they'd released the N-word tape. I laughed my ass off at that. Not because I think it's okay to be racist, but because it wasn't racist. He was just dropping the N-word like a fucking dork. And I'm like, thank God that this brings him back down so that most logical people will not start thinking that he's some sort of answer to something. Right? Like, all he does is he's a vessel for more information.
That's what I love. Like
and
Joe
honest
Rogan,
communication.
Joe Rogan is popular because he genuinely like cares about the human condition.
Correct.
And he's curious to know what someone actually thinks without letting his own ego and thoughts get in the way every time. Sometimes it does. Sometimes like you can see him give some pushback and stuff, but it's pretty rare. He's a very good interviewer. That's why his show's so successful.
He is. And he's gotten better. That's the point.
Oh yeah.
That's the fucking point.
He's gotten way better
and a guy like that, when he talks about how he writes his comedy and the way he studies it and all that shit, or how he knows every fighter because of the work he puts in, he's made an attempt to do that. He's talked about making an attempt to fucking get rid of his Boston accent. I'm gonna lean into mine, but, and saying the N-word. No, I'm just kidding.
They get thicker by the end of it. What?
I said and saying the N-word. I'm just kidding. But like for real though, like people will respect him because he's real. You could take a 5-second clip that's taken out of context to make him look bad, but somebody who's listened to multiple 3-hour episodes, you fucking kind of know where he's at. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't talk about his family a lot, but he's not going home and fucking doing that crazy spin kick to his kids. You know what I mean? Like you just can get a feel of that. I don't know. Maybe he is. That'd be a hell of a fucking story. Joe Rogan spin kicks his family.
He actually talks about. He talks about in one of his stand-ups where like he's like how he loves all his family and everything, but he's like, I could beat the shit out of all of them.
Oh yeah, right. That's funny. That's a funny thing. What I mean? That's a funny way to look at it.
Yeah.
The irony of it is like he's not necessarily the poster child for masculinity now. But he's up there, you know what I mean? A lot of younger men look up to him and all that shit. When
I would say he
dad, lives with all women.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's working hard to keep that fucking shit.
I would say like he was probably like one of the OGs of like the red pill movement.
Right. Because he's realistic. That's all it is being realistic.
But I mean, I think it started even like with the Man Show. That was like kind of...
Yeah, the irony of that is that was created by Jimmy fucking Kimmel.
Right, yeah.
Which is so weird because now he's...
But Jimmy Kimmel went with the woke crowd.
I know.
And Rogan always kind of pushed back on it, while simultaneously understanding it. And where it came from.
Well,
and why
you have to have fucking empathy if you want to have any type of compromise.
Right.
Oh, there you go. That was a tough word. It's getting late.
I mean, it's not like I don't know that the family unit has declined. It's like obvious.
Oh yeah.
And their women are more incentivized than ever to get divorced. There's a problem in society that's hard to talk about without coming off like make America great again style, where it's like, okay, like you want to go back to the 50s and 60s when men could just slap their women around?
Yeah.
No. Well, that's what you get.
No. I just couldn't.
That's what you could, that's the conclusion that you could jump to. And I mean, we can say like, okay.
Open hand only. I'm just
I was gonna say backhand only, but
no open.
no,
that's-
not too.
No,